Basics of Adobe InDesign for CS6. The first thing you're going to want to do when you open up Adobe InDesign is mouse over the icon in the bottom, make sure that it says Adobe InDesign CS6 here as opposed to CS5. Now the second step that you want to do is create your first document. You're going to go to File, New, and then click Document. That will bring up your new document setup screen. You'll start off with one page. You're going to want to uncheck the box for facing pages. What this does is this creates facing pages will create an odd and an even page that would face each other in some sort of book, which is not an option that you're typically going to want in a presentation. Then you're going to want to adjust the resolution of your slides. Common resolution that you'll use is 1024 by 768. And then you could change the orientation of this if you wanted to make it portrait or landscape, but since we've given the width and the height that we want, it should work out just fine. Go ahead and click OK. Now you've created this first slide of your presentation. Working through the different tools on the side of the interface here, you have your selection tool. Using V is the hotkey for the selection tool. You have a direct selection tool, which is helpful when you're selecting between different links. You have a type tool, so you can click and drag to create a text box. You can adjust the size of the font that you'll be typing up here. I'm going to choose a large size of font since we chose a large resolution of our slide. And you can go ahead and type whatever you want. To change the different aspects of this font, you can either, that's done up in the ribbon here. You can change your font over here on the right. To change the color of the text, you can double click the fill of it, and then you can make any kind of adjustment in the color picker. Next tool is the line tool. This is also where you'll click and drag. To change different aspects of this line, you can either change them in the upper ribbon here, or you could change them in the stroke, for example, making this a very heavy line weight line. You can also make it a dashed line. In the color tool, you will double click this if you want to adjust the fill. Since it's a line, I just want to adjust the actual outline, so I'll double click the outlining box. I'll also make that red. Another helpful tool is the pen tool. Rather than clicking and dragging like you would with the line tool, you click and select various points. The click and drag option will actually create a line which your pen line will approach tangentially. So you can see here this line approaches my click and drag line on a tangent, and the line that leaves this will also remain tangential to that. And then you can close that polygon by clicking. Now you have this closed polygon. We can edit this similarly to the text or the line over with the color tool. If I want to make the stroke of the outline heavier, I can go ahead and do that. I can also adjust the color of the fill and make that red. Next tool I will show you is the rectangular frame tool. This is also where you'll click and drag. The rectangular frame will be used later on to link certain files into this presentation. If you wanted to link a very high resolution picture or a diagram out of Illustrator, you can do that there and minimize your overall file size of the presentation. Another tool is the rectangle tool, which you will click and drag similarly to the rectangular frame. And again, you can edit the colors of it and the stroke of it over on the right here. One way to change colors is to use this dropper tool. If I want this to appear exactly identical to this shape in terms of its line weights, its outline, and its fill color, and go ahead and click the dropper tool. While this rectangle is selected, drop it there, and now this appears identical to that. To add slides to your slideshow, you're going to go to the upper right here and click Pages. If you want to create an identical slide, you'll click Duplicate Spread. This will create another slide exactly identical, which you'll call Slide 2. To go between slides, you can simply scroll or zoom out to all two of them. If you want to add a blank slide, simply click Insert Pages, Page 1. Now that's moved to the back. To quickly move between pages, you can double click in this window here. Last tool, to zoom in, click Control plus. And to zoom out, click Control minus. Those are the basics of Adobe InDesign. And now you'll be ready to make presentations using this software suite.